resume the recording here. All right. First of all, I want to say hi to everybody. And if you could, I have a little chat box here. And I'm going to say again, so my early bird people helped me with this earlier, but I want to make sure you can hear me. So can you hear me? And I sent that out to everyone just now in the chat box. If you could just reply yes, that would be awesome. Reply yes. Here, I'll turn my video on so you can see me. Woohoo! Oh, this is going to be pretty. Oh, I didn't even see myself. Hi everybody. Stop video. Okay. So I got a yes. I got a 1 yes. So I'm going to assume you can all hear me then. All right, home care marketing recap. Everything we talked about in the month of February, we are going to hit the highlights today so that you don't have to watch every video. You can pick and choose, or you can read the blog post or get your free downloads, whatever you like to do. We talked about a ton of stuff in the month of February. And by the way, my name is Valerie Van Boeven. I am a registered nurse and the co-owner of LTC Expert Publications. If you haven't seen the Valerie V show, we do a short video every other day or so, sometimes every day, depends on the week and how busy things are. And we help you with home care marketing, elder care, senior care, anything in the senior care space. We help with online marketing. We do not profess to be the experts in direct referral marketing, but we have some experts that we work with really closely, and you'll see that in just a second. So welcome everybody to our little webinar. We had 100 spots open. All 100 spots are taken. People will probably be flitting in and out as we go here, and that's perfectly okay too. So let's see. We're going to go to our next slide. All right. So the February 2018 recap. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. And when this is over, everyone who registered is going to receive, and by the way, if you're not muted, you need to mute yourself because we don't want to hear your background noise. I hear you. Here, let's see. Let's see if I can mute everyone. Let's see. Audio options. Let's see if we can mute. Oh, I think somebody muted themselves. Okay. So if you are just coming on board, make sure you leave your microphone or your phone muted. Okay. February 2018 recap. Buying home care leads, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Direct referral marketing with Melanie Stover. 50 content or blog post ideas for home care agency marketers. 2 super important Google updates for home care websites in 2018 and how we can help. The do's and don'ts of home care advertising, what you should know. E-newsletters, do it and do it right. 12 months of home care marketing. 52 reasons to visit your referral sources. Facebook groups and private mentoring. We're going to start at the top and talk about leads, home care leads. So we did a video for the Valerie V show. If you haven't seen that, go to our page on Facebook. You just type in a search for Valerie V show and you'll be able to find that. You can also find Valerie V show on YouTube if you'd like to visit all the videos. So please join us there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This video will also be there when we get done. But we talk about different marketing items as quickly as possible, several times a week, to keep you all updated and let you know what's working, what's not working, and what's going on in the world, because you're very busy people and we want you to know how to make the most of your online marketing quickly. So buying home care leads, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, there's a lot of bad and ugly about any kind of lead system, no matter what industry you're in. There are bad leads. There are people who provide bad leads. There are, you're never going to satisfy anybody if you're, or everybody if you're in the lead business. Buying home care leads is also very dependent on you. You have some responsibility in this. So if you are not a good closer, and let's be honest, not all of us are great closers. I'm not a great closer. I do not want to sell anything. yes, I market our services, but if you get me on the phone and you want to talk to me about buying some of our services, I'm happy to do that, but I'm not the closer that somebody's looking for. So home care leads are often dependent on you as a home care agency owner or marketer, how good of a closer you are. It also depends on the location that you're in and the population and the senior population at that. So buying home care leads is tricky. And we talked about several different lead options. I'm not going to go into the depth on every single one of them because we have a video for that. So and let me rewind. What I was going to say before I started down that road is that I am going to send each of you the list that you see in front of me with a link to that download or that video or that blog post. So if there's one of these that really hits you as something that you want to know more about, or you really want that download, or you really want that thing, or want to watch that video, then you can just click on these titles and it'll take you right to it. So when we get done here, I have to put that together, but once it's done and the video is rendered, all of that will go up online, and I'll send you a direct email with all the links to these things so you can pick and choose what you want to look at. So the buying home care leads, back to that, there is KarenHomes.com. I've heard some good, I've heard some bad. I really honestly think it depends on your location and your closing ratio. If you're in West Winnemucca, Nevada, you're probably not going to get great leads from any lead source except for you yourself. So if you're in South Florida, you have lots of leads probably, but do you buy exclusive leads, or do you buy leads that 500 other people are also getting, or 5 other people? I shouldn't say 500, that's not true. It all is dependent on your budget, what you can afford, and your location. So there's lots of issues to weigh here. It's not just whether or not the lead company is good. Most of them are pretty much about the same. These are tire kicker people who are filling out these forms. They're adult children who don't realize that Medicare is not going to pay for in-home services, at least not at the moment, not the way they want it. It's not going to pay for a companion 8 hours a day. They don't get that. They're not in this industry. They're not in the business. They don't understand that yet. So you're the bearer of bad news when they get on the phone. The other thing is follow-up. So when we talk about home care leads, you got to be a good closer, and you have to follow up fast. It used to be you could follow up within 24 hours, or it used to be that you could follow up within an hour. You need to be on that phone within 5 minutes of receiving that lead. And I'm not kidding about that. So if you're not able to follow up in a timely manner, and I mean instantly, or you don't have someone in your office or working with you who can do that for you, and they also have to be a good closer if it's not you. If that cannot happen, then you might want to reconsider buying those leads. People are tire kickers, but if you have several people following up at the same time, you got to get to them quick while they're still in that mode of searching and learning and understanding. Once you get those people on the phone, you got to get their email address. I'm sure it comes with the lead information. You need to put them on your newsletter list. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So buying home care leads, it can be good if you're an excellent closer, if you can follow up instantly, and it also depends on your geography. Have a frank conversation with your lead provider and say, listen, what do you think is going to happen here? What's happened in the past with the folks that are in our area? How long did they stay with you? Ask them some questions. You might get some good answers. So if somebody stayed with a certain lead company for 2 years, that might tell you that they're pretty good. If they stayed if most of their clients stick with them for about a month or two, I don't know. That might not be such a good track record. Also, Facebook leads. So there is a very specific way to generate leads on Facebook that helps eliminate some of the challenges that we have with Google AdWords. Google AdWords has never been something that I recommend. We have and do run small campaigns that are not complicated for home care agencies, but I guarantee you that the 80-20 rule applies. 80%, if you had a $1,000 budget for Google AdWords per month, let's say, $800 of those dollars are probably going to go to people who are seeking jobs and probably don't even qualify to work for you. And then $200 or 20% of that $1,000 is going to go, those clicks are going to be spent on people who are seeking care, but there's also a large percentage of that 20% who only qualify for Medicaid. So if you don't take Medicaid, then those leads are not useful for you. So AdWords is not something I recommend in the home care space. I know it works well for other places, or if you're corporate office of Visiting Angels and you have the dough to spend that kind of money and absorb that loss, go for it. But for most of us who are mom and pop shops or we're small businesses, we really don't have that kind of budget to just blow that money just to be number one on the first page of Google. It doesn't work like that. So I'm not an AdWords fan. Facebook ads, I am a fair fan of that because it eliminates the job seeker problem. So everyone who does click on your ads probably is a prospect. That does not mean that they're all going to qualify. There's still going to be some Medicaid folks in there. But I also, there's a very specific way to run those ads. And that includes having the person fill out a mobile responsive form right there inside that Facebook ad. You do not want to just slap up a picture and say, call us, we care. You need to have something a little bit different. So that is my spiel on buying home care leads. Again, I'm going to send you the link to that video and to that whole blog post so you can see that, read more of the details yourself. Direct referral marketing with Melanie Stover. I love that interview. It's the first interview we've done for the Valerie V show. It went well. Melanie Stover is the most seasoned, longest running, most trustworthy direct referral marketing consultant that I've ever met. Known her a million years. And we have worked together many times, have been at many presentations, and our businesses don't compete with each other because we don't do the direct referral marketing piece. Yes, I get it. Yes, I can talk about it and understand it. But Melanie is the person who has her feet on the ground, and she goes out with salespeople and teaches them what to do. Melanie knows every skill in the book to get more leads from direct referral marketing. I can't recommend her enough. If you want to reach out to Melanie because you want direct referral sales training and consultation, it is not free, just like our services aren't free, but it's excellent. And I'm sure she'll have a very frank conversation with you on the phone before you sign up with her, if you decide to do that. And you can reach her at melanie@homecaresales.com. So melanie@homecaresales.com. Again, I'll put a link to all this information and send that out to you. 50 content blog post ideas for home care agency marketers. So we have a suite of a few hundred clients, a couple hundred, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, it depends on the day. And we encourage all of them, and I encourage you, whether you're a client or not a client, to provide unique content to your website in the form of a blog post. I know that not all of you understand what I'm saying. I know that all of you aren't web savvy. But if you go to our website or you click on one of the links when I send you this information with all these titles linked to the right blog post, just understand that you're clicking on a link that's taking you to a blog post that I put up on our website. And you should be doing that too. You should have new unique content on every single week on your website or blog. If your blog doesn't allow for blog posting, then you need a new website. You cannot persevere. You cannot blow away the competition. You cannot do any of those things if you do not take care of your website. Your website is not a brochure, a static brochure. Your website is a moving, flowing, mobile responsive, new content, new information, unique piece of marketing that is located on the internet. You need to change it and add to it all the time. So I gave 50 content blog post ideas. I gave the whole list. There's also a checklist you can download. There are and all of them apply to you. I don't care who you are or what business you're in. Almost every single one of those. And underneath the example, or underneath the, I guess, the sample of, each of the 50 ideas, I put examples of how that applies to home care or senior care or elder care. There is no way that you can, not come up with something to add to your own website. You can. You just have to know how important it is, believe how important it is, and take the time to do it. Part of marketing in 2018 is online marketing. It's been that way for years. And if you haven't taken the dive into online marketing, aside from just having a basic website, then you need to take the dive if you want to increase your revenue. You will increase your revenue. You will increase leads if you take care of your online marketing needs. If you can't do it all, hire it out. That's what we're here for. LTC Expert Publications. We do it all day long. Okay. 2 super important Google updates for home care websites in 2018 and how we can help. Google dictates a lot of things in our lives when it comes to online marketing, and they are talking to us now about 2 things that are coming up in July that must happen, or you will be sort of penalized, or maybe a lot penalized. So, number 1, your website needs to have an SSL certificate attached to it. An SSL certificate is a security certificate. So when you go to my website, which is ltcsocialmark.com, you can see it down there at the bottom of your screen. When you go to that, you can see that it's https://www. So most of you have a website that says http://. You need to have the HTTPS, and that means installing a secure socket layer certificate. You can have your web developer would need to do that. It's not a simple process sometimes. Sometimes it is. It depends on your hosting. It depends on who you are, where you're located, and who you use. But you can't do it by yourself unless you are a web developer and you know how to do it. Some of you can probably navigate your way through it, but it's 2 hours of your life that's better spent doing something else. So we spend a couple hours making sure all that works. Secure socket layer SSL by July 18th or July, well, I guess no, not July 18th, July of 2018, July of this year. If you do not have an SSL certificate on your website and you are not an HTTPS, Google will flag you as an unsecure site, which they already kind of do, but I don't know how much difference that's going to make, how much more they're going to flag your site as unsecure. The next thing, so that's important to know. So get with your web developer. If you need help from us, we will help you, but we have to be managing and hosting your website if we are going to do that for you. And we're happy to do that. So if you've lost touch with your web developer, you don't know where to find them, or they're not reliable, or you can't stand them and you never ask for changes to your website because they irritate you, I totally get it. There's lots of fly-by-nights out there, lots of people who want to do this full-time but can't. It is challenging. So we've been in the business 10 years. We've seen hundreds of people come and go over the years. We remain firm and we remain here. You are welcome to transition your website over to our care, and we will help you with it, and we will install your secure socket layer for you. But we will not do that for websites we don't control. So if you could talk to your web developer about that. Next, the next other important Google update is speed. So Google says everything is now mobile. We are all in a mobile situation. You might be watching or listening to this broadcast on a mobile device. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Some people are in their cars. Some people are, on their laptops. Some people are on their desktops. Some people are on a tablet sitting somewhere. Maybe you're in the bathroom. I don't know. But everything is mobile now. We want to make sure that our websites are mobile optimized, or they're mobile responsive. So if you don't know what that means, it's a good time to learn. That's another reason why you need to get a new website. So not only do they need to be mobile responsive, but they also need to be fast, a fast loading website. And there are lots of ways you can test that. So in this blog post, 2 super important Google updates, I list a couple of places where you can plug in your website address and you can see how fast or slow or what Google considers your website to be for mobile and for desktop. And there's a few places where you can test the speed of your website. It's not hard and it's free. Some of the websites I listed will give you more data than others. A lot of it probably won't make sense to you, but we have figured out for our clients what we need to do to help the slower sites become faster. So if you are our client, you will see this in that blog post. You do not need to submit a support ticket. You do not need to say, hey, my site is slow. We know if your site is slow or it's not slow. And we have until July. So as a web development team, we know that by July, we need to get everybody up to speed and we need to make their websites faster. And we will be doing that. And we just are going to work on it one website at a time till we get everybody taken care of. So that is, and there's a couple of recommendations that I put in that blog post as to how you can help your own website. But again, this is a web developer issue that you probably need to get help with. All right, do's and don'ts of home care advertising, what you should know. Oh, I love this. So we talked about buying leads, and we talked about the top here, and we talked about AdWords and Facebook advertising. I am a fair fan, again, of Facebook advertising. Love to set them up, love to see what happens. Usually those leads end up costing between $20 and $80, $20, maybe even up to $100, depending on how rural you are. Per lead. Sometimes they're a lot cheaper. If you cover a big territory and you're in South Florida, you're going to have a much cheaper experience per lead than the person who's in West Winnemucca, Nevada. So I do enjoy the Facebook ads. However, there are other forms of advertising that you need to be aware of. Of course, we have TV, radio, and newspaper that we don't talk about very much. At least I don't, and I have talked about them over the years, and my attitude kind of remains the same. For your home care agency, unless you are a big corporate office with lots of dollars to throw at TV or radio, I would recommend staying away from that. For television, if you are sold a cable package with a 30-second TV commercial that runs on the Golf Channel in the middle of the day, you're not going to get any calls. Yes, it would seem like that would be perfect because seniors are sitting at home and men are watching the Golf Channel all day, or the women are watching the DIY channel or TLC or Lifetime movies. But those people aren't the ones making the call that mom needs help. The people who are making the call to say, hey, my mom needs somebody to be with her during the day are the adult children of those aging parents who are at work all day. So advertising on your cable stations or advertising locally on the news might seem like a good idea, but then again, it might not be. So let's talk about primetime news, drive time in the morning, drive time in the afternoon. Drive time in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, or in prime time are going to be your most expensive advertising places for television and for radio as well. And during an election year, so if you, depending on where you are, you may have elections, but during a big election year, you might as well forget it because the prices jack up so high. Because of course, all of the officials who are running for election or re-election want to use those time spots. So they jack up the pricing. So an election year is completely out. During the day is not your demographic usually. And during the evening would be, but again, it's very expensive. And 30 seconds is usually the length of time for the spot for TV. Sometimes they have something called a 5-second billboard ad, which is just literally 5 seconds. And for somebody, it just flashes up on the screen. Somebody says, need home care, call 555-555-5555, and it's gone. And that's it. And it just runs many times during the day and evening. 5-second billboards. I don't even know if they do that anymore, but I always thought that was pretty interesting. So TV is pretty expensive. So then we have radio. Radio is okay. But again, overnights are going to get you nothing. They're really cheap to buy, but you're not going to get calls on overnights. That would be your midnight to 6 a.m. hour. Drive time in the morning, you might get some calls. Drive time in the evening, you might get some calls. But that's pretty much going to take care of it for radio. And I'm not a fan of just general radio spots. In I guess my experience has been that you need a local talk radio host or a local whoever runs your oldie station or your classical music station, or whoever is sort of maybe a more famous talk radio person local to you. That person doing a live testimonial, or they call it a live endorsement for you, for your business, is really expensive every time they open their mouth about you. But that is what works the best, and only during drive time usually. So I would say if you're going to do radio, you can spend money and throw away money on lots of cheap stuff, overnights and other things that aren't going to make you any money and no one's going to hear. But the drive time in the morning and the afternoon are probably the best, and they need to be live endorsements. So that would be my recommendation if you're going to do radio. Frankly, I think that focusing your attention on all the things you can do with online marketing is probably the only place you need to be. I've tried all of them. I've done all of them. I've advertised on all of those mediums for other people. And the bottom line is that online marketing works the best. Okay. So we have do's and don'ts of home care advertising. E-newsletters, do it and do it right. You need to have an e-newsletter. No matter how much that irritates you, you need a monthly newsletter that goes out. All these leads and all this advertising that you want to do and all this online marketing isn't going to mean a hill of beans if you don't follow up with every single human person that you come in contact with. You have to hit everyone once a month. And there's no way you're going to do that in an email, or in just individual emails. So putting everybody on a newsletter list and sending out a once a month newsletter is so important. We automate that process. We do not touch newsletters every month. We just monitor them to make sure they go out. That is the best way to get in front of folks. The other thing about your newsletter is that it doesn't have to be beautiful. We used to focus on all these pretty things about our newsletters. Dump that out of your brain. It needs to be a mobile responsive, easy to read and easy to scroll newsletter, e-newsletter that comes to people in their email. From all the statistics we've seen over the years, 90% of people are reading your newsletter on their mobile device. They are not sitting in front of a desktop usually. So they are sitting on the toilet, they're sitting at lunch, they're sitting in traffic, they are sitting somewhere waiting for someone and doing something mundane, and they are reading your email that just came to them, which is your newsletter. They want to be able to scroll through the newsletter. They want to be able to hit the highlights, hit the titles. They don't want to read a long dissertation. They want to hit the title, click on it, and it takes them right back to your mobile responsive website, to that exact article, so they can read it on their mobile device. They're only going to read the articles that interest them. And if you put 10 long articles in a newsletter, none of them will get read, especially the ones at the bottom. So please have a newsletter, make it automated, make it excerpts and titles only, completely mobile responsive. You will get, let's see, how can I say this? You will generate more revenue by following up that way with leads that never closed and referral sources and adult children of aging parents than you will trying to remember to make your beautiful newsletter even more beautiful and sending it out every month. Because guess what's going to happen? You'll never send that newsletter out if you don't automate it. Get it, do it, automate it. I'll send you the link to that blog post so you can see how I do it. 12 months of home care marketing, 52 reasons to visit your referral sources. Everybody wants to know, if I'm going to do direct referral marketing, how do I find an excuse to go back and visit that person again this week? Well, if you have something you need to leave behind with them that's very important, then you have a reason to visit, whether you think this is important or not. Every single month, there are celebrations of healthcare. There are celebrations that are funny. There are celebrations that we probably have never heard of. So what I did was I put together the 12 months of home care marketing. It is a PDF document that gives you a list of all the things that you can celebrate each month. And there are more than 4. There's like say 4 weeks in a month. So most of them have multiple opportunities to come up with something cute, creative, or a handout, write up a blog post and print it out, whatever, about that celebration. There are all kinds of cute things you can do, print out, and leave behind. So there is never, ever, ever a shortage of reasons to go visit your referral sources. You have something that you need to leave with them. It might be National Donut Day, or it might be national, like February was National Heart Month or Heart Awareness Month or whatever. And March has a bunch of cool stuff. Of course, we have all kinds of stuff coming up with St. Patrick's Day, but we also have the beginning of spring, and we have, or maybe, I don't know, something like that. We have I think we have the beginning of spring. There are, things like National Older Americans Month coming up in May. I mean, there's tons of this stuff. So all you have to do is download the 12 months of home care marketing, pardon me, 52 reasons to visit your referral sources. You go to our website. I will link this to that blog post. Go down to the bottom of it, and you can put in your name and your email address, and you get your download. Simple as that. You can have it, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to get crazy with and which ones you don't want to deal with. So it's there for you. There's never a shortage of reasons. And also, you can blog post about any one of these things. Okay, last 2 on our list, Facebook groups and private mentoring. So for Facebook groups, we have been doing some beta testing with a couple of our clients. So what we've been doing over the last couple of years is we've been building the audiences of our clients. Their Facebook business pages, if they're in one of our Facebook programs, don't have 48 likes or 100 likes. They have 1,000 likes, 2,000 likes. These are people in their local area. We didn't buy likes from India or China. We actually spent the money to advertise every single month to get them the likes that they need to grow their local audience. These are local people. You need an audience. You need to have an audience local to you who are interested in your services. So once we grew their audiences to 1,000, 2,000 people, then what we did was we added a group. And if you look at your Facebook business page, you'll notice that you can now create a group associated with that page. Groups are showing up in your feed more than any other piece of information in your Facebook feed today. So groups and friends and family are what you're going to see. I am in a lot of groups. Some are digital marketing. Some are Instant Pot, which is a pressure cooker thing. Some of them are completely different, weird stuff. So I'm in a bunch of groups, and we host a bunch of groups. And we are helping a few of our clients really move forward with their support group. So what it becomes is a virtual support group. And we'll talk a lot about that in our mentoring program, which is also coming up. Today is the deadline for our private mentoring Facebook program. So what happens there is we have already packaged Facebook marketing plans that we sell to our clients and that we sell to people who want to be better with Facebook, and they want blog posts, and they want videos, and they want all kinds of stuff. So we have a huge amount of services that we provide, but what we decided to do was add mentoring to that mix. I haven't offered this in probably 5 years, maybe longer, but to have a mentor, someone who has seen it all, done it all, and knows the best practices for home care specifically is really helpful when it comes to online marketing. So I'm going to be spending my time with that group of people who have entered our mentoring program and are in our Facebook programs. We're going to spend some time educating them and helping them understand what to do, and of course helping them with some group activity, advertising, and all kinds of different stuff. It's really helpful when you understand how all this works. And it's hard to be an expert in all of this, but just to have a basic understanding of where to spend your money and why to spend your money on a Facebook ad or on blog posting or whatever, that really helps you make better, more educated decisions. So if that's something that you would like to join, if you want to be part of that mentoring program, the deadline is close of business today. If you send me an email at valerie@ltcep.com, I will send you that contract and you can turn it around to us. It's a 6-month commitment. So you need to read the contract carefully and check it out. But I think it'll be a really good learning process. So that is private mentoring. There's also a link to our private mentoring blog post that tells all about it. We have 10 spots. Those 10 are pretty much full. I haven't checked back this afternoon. I think we might have one still open. We're waiting on a contract that hasn't come in yet. And if they don't come in, we'll have that spot available. So it filled up fast and for good reason, because this is a good program. Okay, so that is the February 2018 recap. As you can see, we've talked about a ton of stuff, and there may be some things in here you really want to know more about, or you want to forward to your web developer, or you need some help with your website, or you need some help with your advertising or your newsletters or a Facebook group or private mentoring. Whatever you need help with, we can do all these things. And if it's direct referral marketing you need, you want to talk to Melanie Stover, melanie@homecaresales.com. Let us help with whatever it is you need. You can message me through our page at LTC's Valerie V Show. So if you go to Valerie V Show and you hit message, you can send a message and it'll come directly to me. I'll be happy to message back and forth with you if you like to do that. Or you can email Valerie@ltcep.com. Be specific about what it is you're looking for, and we'll point you in the right direction. All right. Thanks, everybody, for a great recap of February 2018. We'll get this posted, and we'll get the links out to all these blog posts for you. Thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you again in a day or two. Bye-bye.